Hello and welcome. My name is Professor Volker Janssen and you are watching the introductory video to the American History Survey, HIST180, in summer session here at Cal State Fullerton. If you are watching this, then you're already doing one thing right. That means you are reading basic instructions on our course site. If you keep this up, you should be doing really well in this course. This video will show you overall how this course site works, the things you need to be aware of when you complete this course, and the work that you need to complete. So first let me explain how this course site operates. Obviously you're watching the video, so you already know how to click links. That's good news. Here on the right on Titanium you can see an activities block. So particular parts of the course are grouped here. Assignments are available here, external tools, which partly includes assignments, say if they are checked via turnitin.com, they're available here. Discussion forums you can access this way. So this is a convenient way to find a short path, say, to a quiz that you did. You can just go down here and find all the document quizzes, which we'll discuss a little later, right here in one place. Student services, that's a really helpful resource for you if you want student technology services, you want help from IT, because remember, I can help you with course materials, but if you have IT issues, you need to turn this way. If you need disability support services, there is help provided on this link. So these are a lot of useful links that you can use that help you complete the coursework with questions that are not for the professor, but for people who can support you otherwise. Down here is a library research block, and I will explain in a minute when that will become handy in this course. Now, another important link that you need to click regularly is announcements, because on occasion I communicate with you via email, but I know that not everyone is checking their email all the time, so this also gets sent to this announcement discussion forum block, so click there to see latest news if you don't catch them in your emails already. Here we have the first small assignment for you, and that is your own introduction. You can get my introduction via this link, where I explain to you why I became a professor of American history and why I think this is an important course for you to take. If you click here, then you can submit your own discussion forum where you will explain why you're taking this course, the things that interest you, what you're hoping to do after graduation, etc. A couple of things about yourself. I always appreciate people making an effort to, say, post a little video or share a picture. I do this for myself, and in an online course where we have so little to do with each other, and there's so little that makes this a personal experience, it's a good idea for all of us to sort of see who we are and make this a little more human, a little less tech focused. Now let's get to the syllabus. You can do the conventional download of a syllabus document and read it in paper format, or of course you can read that online as well. I'm also offering links for all the components of the syllabus here, and I'm not going to read through this because you can read yourself, and I think there's nothing more boring at the beginning of a course than a professor explaining in a syllabus what they already wrote in the syllabus. So just to point out a couple of things I would like you to be aware of. This is of course a general education course, and you are taking it for that reason, I assume. I would not want you to misconceive this course as easy as a result. There's often the assumption that GE courses are sort of basic and easy, and sometimes people go as far as to think that a GE course in American history means that you basically got to be condemning slavery and praising the overall march towards democracy in our country, and otherwise avoid being rude about presidents. That's not really what a GE history survey course is about. I want you to do a whole lot more than offer pat answers to conventional questions. I want you to really think about the trajectory of our nation's history, to think about what it means to think historically, how to make history matter in your day-to-day lives. And there are a lot of ways in which even for you as a major in engineering or the health sciences can actually apply historical thinking in your day-to-day lives. And there will be a couple of examples where you will do this. So don't misunderstand the GE course as easy, and do not think that a summer course somehow is lighter. A summer course means that you do the same amount of work as in a regular semester, only in 5 weeks. So there is a lot for you to do. Now, in addition to that, you are taking the online course. That means the time that you would otherwise spend in a classroom working with other students or listening to me or listening to other students is in fact then spent online reading things, watching things, completing assignments. That means that the overall time you spend online with this course will be considerable, but in the aggregate should not really be more intense or more time consuming than going to 4 classes a week as you would in a summer course, and then do homework after each one of them. So in the end you will find it comparable, but if you expect to sort of have an easy quick path because it's GE, because it's summer, or because it's online, you will find yourself disappointed. The required course materials are listed here. It's basically one big but very good textbook that I insist you use. It's Foner's 5th edition, Give Me Liberty by W.W. Norton, and you will need this book to complete this course successfully. You cannot buy a second-hand old book, you cannot buy another textbook, nor can you try to cover any gaps with Google searches. You will need this textbook. It is the most affordable textbook of quality that's available out there, so I try to be price conscious on your behalf, but you do need to make that investment. Here you have something that looks a little daunting and may not be of interest to you, but if you do want to see how you accomplish your learning goals each and every week, I have this broken up here in a table format. So if you want to see, well, why am I doing this assignment? Why am I doing this activity? Why am I watching this video? Here you basically have a shorthand answer to those questions. Going further, web access, hardware and software requirements I explained here. I'm assuming that as you're watching this video, this will not be a difficulty. Here you have more details on support when it comes to technical challenges, or you need help in the library or academic support. These are details you can find here. Special needs, disasters and emergency procedures are laid out here because that is campus policy. We are not in a room together where I need to lay out our active shooter response plan. Nonetheless, since you will probably spend some time in the library in this course, it's not a bad idea to look at this and be mindful of what to do in a disaster or in an emergency. Netiquette and privacy rights are laid out here. We do need to remember that we are talking to fellow students, or in my case, faculty, and that requires a certain amount of basic human decency, as you should in any conversation or social exchange with people in person. So I don't want us to get rude online, in which people sometimes do turn quite brutal and mean online. Academic dishonesty, the policy and the consequences for fraud are laid out here, and I take this very seriously, and I need to warn you that online courses sometimes offer particular temptations, making shortcuts. That means trying to collaborate on assignments in ways that are illegitimate, trying to steal text sources and present them as your own written work. All of this is explicitly prohibited. Do not offer other people's writing as your own. I am merciless when it comes to that, and a number of students have failed with deep regrets in this course because they took this rule too lightly. So don't make that mistake, please. Now, maybe what is the most important part of the introduction are the course requirements. What do you need to do to get a grade in this course? First, you do need to introduce yourself. It's required. You cannot get a grade if you don't introduce yourself. It's 1% of your course grade. I'm not grading your introduction. Everyone gets the full 1%, but you do need to introduce yourself, and I would appreciate you doing this sincerely. We have 15 modules in this summer session. That is 3 modules per week, and in these modules you have lessons. In these lessons that are listed here under learning modules, in these lessons you need to complete a series of assignments, read a summary of a chapter, watch a video, look at a graph, and at the end you will be answering comprehension questions that are sometimes multiple choice. In the first 7 weeks they consist of brief paragraphs. Please take this seriously and be conscientious about it. You are expected to complete these lessons as you proceed in the course, so don't fall behind on this. I do offer the possibility for you to catch up with this work, but it's so easy to fall behind in a way that makes it almost impossible to catch up. So do this at a steady pace, please. Every week, I'm jumping here now, every week you also have document interpretations. That means you are receiving an original document which you need to read carefully and make sure that you understand it and the significance of that document, and then you will be taking a quiz. This quiz consists of a number of questions that are specific to that document. These documents are in your textbook. They are part of a series called Voices of Freedom, Informers Give Me Liberty. I am offering these documents as PDF copies as a courtesy online as well, but you should generally make use of your textbook for this particular assignment. Each quiz is worth 1 point, so together that makes 15%. They are timed and you cannot backtrack, so they are quite challenging and you really need to be well prepared for this. Finally, there is a multiple choice test for every module. That means you need to complete 3 of these every week. This is an adaptive quiz. That means you can take your time and you can make mistakes, but you need to end up with 40 correct answers to get 100%. If you're willing to work hard enough for this, then you can get 100% each and every time. But you do need to make that effort. In part this is test, in part this is activity, meaning you will learn in the process. So making mistakes here is okay as long as you are sticking with it and are willing to continue. Now, not every week, not every module, but on a regular basis you also have small writing activities. They together will make up 40%. They begin with the introduction, then they continue with small little writing challenges, and they culminate in a midterm and then in a final. The idea behind these writing activities is that you think systematically about how to set up an essay. This is not just about setting up an academic essay, it's also how to set up a good, compelling, written piece of work once you have left school and have graduated and need to write in your career in order to succeed. And I need to tell you, there's hardly any job worth doing in which you never ever have to write. So even if you're in health sciences, engineering, business, you will need to write well. And my effort here in writing activities consists of trying to make you think about how to write effectively. And then there is another assignment that appears frequently. In fact, you have 3 of these. These are discussion forums. Here I am giving you specific questions about contemporary historical debates, meaning historical issues that actually occupy the minds of many Americans today, and I would like you to research this and take a position on this. The details are in the specific forums. Each one of these forum contributions is worth 5%, which is quite a bit, and together they make up 15%. So if you look at this, you have each and every module, you have a inquisitive assignment, that is this one down here, the multiple choice. You have a document quiz, you have a lesson, and then once a week you have a writing activity and or a discussion forum as well. That is the work that you need to complete overall. Here is a list, and here you can see the percentages of how they are all valued. Some writing activities are pretty small, little ways in which you practice organizing an essay. and individual document readings at 1% are not a big deal, but the key is to work steadily, not fall behind, and not miss these assignments, because otherwise these little 1% assignments begin to matter. I'm going to go back to the main course site. And here I'm going to continue with the syllabus points. I'm going to offering grading standards and explain under what conditions I offer feedback. I offer feedback systematically, and you can see when this happens here. Missed exams and lessons, late assignments and bonus points. I don't offer bonus point work, and usually I don't allow late assignments. However, before you fall off the grid here and sort of fail the course in despair because you have fallen behind with deadlines, please don't be a hero. Email me or contact me, and I will find a way to help you. The goal is that you complete the course, not that I find a way to kick you out. Here is a summary of the class schedule that you might appreciate as a sort of way to keep track of your deadlines. And then here under grading criteria, study guides and book resources, you have the link to the ebook, because you can buy this book, Give Me Liberty by Eric Foner, online as an e-version. It's more affordable, and it comes with a pass with which you can unlock your inquisitive quiz activity, or your multiple choice quiz tests that are introduced up there. If you look at the grading criteria and module components, you have one more summary of what the lessons are about. It explains what the lessons do. It explains these inquisitive tests. It explains the document readings and the quizzes that come with the documents. It explains the different writing assignments. It explains your discussion boards, and it gives you a sense of what you need to be careful with in each of the different activities and assignments. Then when you scroll down, you see all 15 modules are already posted, and I'm going to show you a module with the first one here. You see it's the title. It shows the chapters you need to read for this, by what time this needs to be completed. It gives you the learning outcomes. Here's the lessons after you read your chapters. That's where you should start. Then you can look at your documents, make sure that you understand them well, take the document quiz, or you can even front that with your inquisitive quiz activity, which ends on July 8th, just like the other activities for this module. I'm offering an explanation of document quiz 1 once you have completed it, so if you find yourself confused as to why you got things wrong on that document quiz, and that can happen, you can watch this video and I'm walking through that quiz with my explanations why some answers are patently correct and all the others are patently false. Logical thinking doesn't always get you through these document quizzes. You have to think in the context of the document and in the context of the textbook, and then you can get these right. Once you take your first stab at it, you will see what I mean. Now, going further down, you see here is a writing activity where you only have to generate, select, and drop ideas for an essay. So it's a brainstorming list. It's not a full essay. Please be aware. Not all writing activities are full essays. In fact, only the final essay is a complete essay. All the other writing activities address components of essay writing. And here is a discussion forum. This is in week 2, because the first 3 modules are for week 1, and 4, 5, 6 are for week 2. Here comes the first discussion. The Constitution. Is the Electoral College securing democracy or undermining it? You may have thought about it already. This may be a completely new concept for you. Either way, this is what I think is worth discussing. If you want to be engaged citizens, then this is something you ought to be deliberating and be able to take a position on. That is pretty much it for the introduction. Take your own time and work through this. Look at the assignments and look at the descriptions again. Then introduce yourself and start reading the text. And after the first module, I'm sure you will be far more comfortable with all of this. I know that I speak very quickly and I go through this rapidly. If you have any other follow-up questions after you have studied this carefully, do not hesitate to reach out to me and I will help you. Okay? So thank you for your time and enjoy the course, and we'll be in touch.